Okay, so the FDA approved a jab for Mpox, and it warned it may cause people to seize in both the jabbed people and those they come into close contact with. It happened in August 29 that it was expanded, because before then it was just for smallpox, approved in 2007. Now this product from Emergent Biosolutions, a company specializing in jabs for biochemical warfare threats such as anthrax and smallpox, it's now approved for individuals at risk for monkeypox. And users on social media posted the threats listed on the product itself for people who are jabbed and for people who come in contact with them. It says here that it can spread through physical contact, even with clothes, towels, linen, or toiletries with the unjabbed person. So even if you just come in contact with the things of a jabbed person, it may still come off you. It says here that the package insert reveals that the US Department of Health and Human Services found roughly 520 per million recipients got myocarditis or pericarditis. That is about 1 in 2,000, but elsewhere in the package insert, the FDA acknowledges that, based on additional studies, the risk is actually 5.7 per 1,000 jabs. That's about 1 in every 175 people. If the 262 million adults in the US receive this jab, an estimated 1,493,000 would contract the serious adverse reaction of pericarditis. So it's an umbrella term for myocarditis, inflammation of the heart, pericarditis, inflammation of the tissue surrounding the heart, and so on. It's a huge number, this Dr. Meryl Nass said. The fact that the FDA and CDC are acknowledging it means no one should get this jab. She explained that myopericarditis is a life-threatening condition. It lowers your life expectancy. Most people are never going to be exposed to monkeypox or smallpox. Jabs are typically given to healthy people who are never even going to be exposed. Therefore, the risk posed by the jab needs to be low. That's why jab safety is critical, even more than drugs, because drugs are given to people who are already sick. The risk, 1 in 175, is higher than all other licensed jabs for which the CDC acknowledges side effects. This is the worst. So the jab contains a live virus for the special for the jab that can be spread to and possibly cause the death, the ceasing of people who have close contact with the jabbed person up to 6 weeks following the jab, according to the medication guide. So I'd say this is awful, obviously. The numbers do not sound good, and yes, it is worse than everything recorded that it has been approved before. Before 2019, the recorded side effects on pretty much every other medication were significantly lower than what we saw. And this new trend of approving all sorts of medications that are far more risky, especially for things that do not affect the general populace much, but specifically might be harmful for groups that are high risk. It's completely nonsensical. The amount of damage you cause is so much higher because the group affected is, so much larger, and the side effects are exceedingly common compared to everything we've known so far. So that's one story. This is a story that's a bit more hopeful, in my opinion. It says here 30 lawmakers sponsor bill to end liability protection for jab makers. I think this is a step in the right direction if it passes. I honestly don't think it will, but who knows? We can try and be optimistic and support the people who try to pass this bill, support this bill, because I think it's very important. It says here that from Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a statement on the bill, the jab makers are criminal enterprises that have paid tens of billions in criminal penalties over the past decade. His opinion, not mine. by freeing them from liability for negligence. The 1986 statute removed any incentive for these companies to make safe products. If we want safe and effective jabs, we need to end the liability shield. That makes sense to me. Obviously, if you are held accountable for the side effects of your product, you'll spend the time and money to make it as safe as you can. If you are not, then you just rush it out and move on to the next product because that's the most financially beneficial decision, right? Now, that's the logic that I see. It says here that people harmed are long overdue for a compensation process that actually works, and it's time for the drug companies to pick up the tab. That's the React 19 founder, Brianna Dressen, who experienced a debilitating jab injury for the pandemic in 2019. So the act that they're talking about set up a no-fault system whereby instead of suing the manufacturers, people injured by jabs can file a claim with the National Injury Compensation Program for Jabs, which adjudicates the claims. Essentially, the claim by critics is that the program has devolved to protect government agencies and corporations rather than the health of jab children, because it's for specifically the jabs that people have to take as kids, right? It's the jabs that are on the CDC's childhood immunization schedule. So this is, in my opinion, a very good step forward. If it passes, I'd like to see it pass. I hope that we remove, or rather reduce, the amount of jabs given to kids. In my opinion, it's completely excessive all over the world, in my country too. I'd like to see only a few jabs and only the safest and most effective. In my opinion, we have expanded these programs far too much to the point that they do more harm than good. I'm not discounting jabs in general, just the amount and the quality that we currently use. And the last story is this one. CHD scientists uncover evidence of Pfizer hot lots linked to higher rates of jab injuries. Essentially, there were different batches of the jab, and they had different rates of serious adverse events, which, you know, is not a good thing. You want it to be even and low, not to have a higher average, and especially to have specific batches very dangerous to people. Obviously, that's a terrible idea. It says here that this was discovered in a peer-reviewed research letter published Thursday in Science, Public Health Policy and Law. They say that they found the highest rates of serious adverse events in batches distributed during the first 2 months of the jab program, and the highest proportions of these batches were sent to government agencies, hospitals, universities, and health departments, as opposed to clinics, pharmacies, and doctors' offices. The extremely high amount of variability from lot to lot suggests very poor manufacturing controls and a manufacturing process that should have never been approved in the first place. That's by one of the researchers. Under emergency use authorization, jab makers aren't required to have the final filled and finished vials inspected, according to Dr. Peter McCullough. Contaminants from the manufacturing process can be concentrated in certain lots. Product transport, storage, and use issues also may affect particular lots. So obviously, I think that they should never have given a, experimental rush approval for this jab. In my opinion, we should have stuck to the normal processes. And also, even if you do make your rush job, then don't mandate it. Tell everybody, look, this is an experimental jab. It's not the normal, safer variant. Take it if you want. Don't take it if you don't want. Make up your own mind. Read the research. Listen to your doctor. Do what you want, But we're not mandating it. They mandated an experimental product that apparently had a variety of safety rates depending on which batch of product you happen to have been jabbed with. You're basically playing Russian roulette with a jab. I think this is completely ridiculous. They should definitely be stripped of any liability protection and sued by the people who were hurt, because This is not normal. This is not acceptable. Our government going and making secret deals to allow this, and the profits that they made off of us are absolutely insane. This is just... There should be public outrage over this, in my opinion. If we let this... sorry if there was a bit of noise from outside. If we let this be normalized, this will be the way going forward, you know? If they can make so much money and have liability protection, they will. Of course they will. It's a no-brainer. They will do what they can to maximize profits, and this is the most profits they've made in their history. And we see the results. We absolutely should roll this stupidity back. Remove liability protection and show them that they absolutely cannot do this ever again. The people that, in fact, in my opinion, anyone that was jabbed with the dangerous lot should be able to sue them. What do you mean you've created batches of the product that are exceedingly dangerous compared to the others? And just jab them into people without telling them that this is a higher risk product. Anyway, I honestly am not optimistic about making any change right now. I think there needs to be a change in government before a change in liability protection can occur, if at all. But who knows, we're not that far off from elections. And remember, most of these products are created in the United States. A change there can evoke a change in safety standards all over the world. And hopefully we can all be more optimistic about our health and the health of our relatives if we didn't take products like these. I personally didn't, but most of my family did. So you can't say that even those of us who are satisfied with their decisions are completely calm about this. I think most people either have a family member or a friend or someone they know that has taken these products. And we should all hope to see compensation for the victims and greater accountability going forward. I mean, there's really not much variation in these videos, but let's be honest. This is a drum that we should keep beating. Until change does happen, until, you know, such laws stripping liability protection occur, are passed, we absolutely have to keep this a hot topic in the news. Like, look at the way that the mainstream media keeps the narrative going with even tribal stuff, like January 6th. Like, oh look, January 6th is the worst thing to have ever happened. It's like Pearl Harbor. And in the end, it's a bunch of boomers going for a guided tour in the Parliament building. Nobody was, you know, ended. I don't even know of anyone that was hurt by these people. They came there unarmed and basically did nothing. Like, marched in orderly fashion through the velvet ropes. It was just a nothing burger. And they kept hampering on about that for like a year? 3 years? Almost 4 years now? It's just something they never let you forget. So we should not let anyone forget about the actually important issues. In my opinion, health issues are possibly the most important. Election integrity, anti-war stuff. Just keep hammering on. Of course, the assassination attempts of the former president and current frontrunner, in my opinion, Trump. Just these issues should be on the news all the time for those of us who don't support the establishment. Because, in my opinion, these are the life and death issues that we have to contend with. So I try to push them to the fore constantly. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.